it's not my control whether you're gonna make it in this. It's your choice whether you're gonna make it in this game.
Man, you sound like the Andrew Tate of filming.
Brett Mauser and the cast and crew of Not So Sane Entertainment are attempting to make a movie with an impossibly low budget and hopefully inspire you to do the same. Can they make a movie with just $2,500? It's a long shot.
Yes, yeah, you're the Andrew Tate of filming.
Yeah, because I mean, it is. It's up to you whether you succeed or not. I mean, I've gotten where I'm at, and I'm not a Tom Cruise. I'm not a big movie director, but I'm able to continue making films, and they're getting better, and they're getting better. And had I just given up.
Yeah, it's because you keep working on it.
Yeah, had I just given up when I quit Ponders and went back to school, if I had never reopened Not So Sane, I wouldn't be where I am today. Wouldn't have Lady Lawman out there. Wouldn't have Ola's Posse coming out. We wouldn't, I wouldn't have a book, that teaches people how to, make a movie for no money. Again, I reiterate the fact that no, this is not Hollywood. But what drives me nuts is somebody who's going to slam what we do or say, oh, you're teaching people how to make a movie with no money. And, well, it's going to be a crappy movie. If I go out and I make a movie on $50, it's going to look like crap. It's going to be horrible. Yes, it is. But you're learning how to do it. And, taken from Andrew Tate, if you want to go out and be really good at banging chicks, you got to be bad at banging chicks to start off with, to work your way up. You're not perfect at it when you do. So, would you rather suck? Would you rather your very first $50 movie suck? Or would you rather your very first $1 million movie suck? Because you're not going to have any clue what to do. And how are you going to get that $1 million if you don't have anything to show anybody? Would you, if you're looking at two people, somebody who is like me, who's got over 40 feature films that I've done for, under $10,000, under $180, under $65, and you can look at this thing and say, well, look at all these movies he's made. Yeah, there's a lot of problems and a lot of issues with them. Or, but he knows what he's doing and he's able to finish it. Or this person who's never made anything.
They have the idea, but they never, yeah.
Who do you want to give your money to? Because, if you're going to give me money, you can say, yeah, but I want a good DP. So do I. Mm-hmm. Oh, I want you to have a name in it. Well, so do I. You have just great talent from beginning to end. So do I. Well, why don't you have it? Because I don't have any money. But I'm making the movies. Mm-hmm. So when, if somebody like me is showing, if you're sitting there for 2 weeks trying to look at a script and break it down and get your director a schedule, and you don't, and then he calls you over and he shows you how to do it and he does it in 2 hours when you haven't been able to do it in 2 weeks, that's not my problem. That's not my fault. That's you watching Game of Thrones. That's you doing something other than it's like fat people. The ones that are saying, well, I'm eating healthy, I'm exercising. No, you're not. It's not how it works. So if you're sitting there I'm trying to break down the script. No, you're not. Because I just showed you how to do it. And then especially if you're going to pack up and bolt out and give up and leave that movie because I was too mean, you're not going to make it. Yeah.
With the breakdown complete, the guys are ready to move into pre-production. But in order to find locations, finalize cast, and prepare to shoot, they're going to have to make a day-by-day schedule so everyone knows who needs to be where and when.
I got to get all this shit in 9 days. I want to get it in 4 to 7, but I want to be generous to start with. So I know that a Friday night, I'm going to do that abandoned building. So that's got to be at night. So I'm going to say 8 p.m. start time, abandoned building, and then just going to put their names, Benjamin, Janet, Serial Rabbit. That's Friday. That's blocked out. So I'm done with that card. My dystopian home, I've got all my scenes laid out. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots or 7 scenes that take place in the dystopian home. But some of them are like 15 seconds. Some of them are 2.5 minutes. But I've got my estimates scheduled out here. So how much each will take? It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hours. It's not going to take that long because like 4 or 5 of these are 15-minute shots. They're going to take 15 minutes. But I'm going to schedule a whole day. Why does it take Hollywood so long to make one? Well, we're a crew of 2, and we've got communication down pat. Joey knows what I need. I know how to tell Joey what I need. Now, I want you to think about your office and where you work and how many idiots you work with and how many people that are just lazy and are just trying to come up with excuses as to why they didn't get something done by a deadline. The more people you add to the stew, the higher the odds of there being lazy idiots in that stew. Hollywood movies have dozens and sometimes hundreds of people on it. And you think all of these people are going to be devoted and hardworking and knowledgeable and really good at their job? No. There's going to be a lot of people just trying to do it as easily as they can and with as little amount of energy. And then you have the unions that are stepping in. We could never be a union set because Joey would have to be on 17 different unions. And each one of those unions is not going to allow him to pick up that crate. You're only allowed to touch this light. You can't move that gimbal. You can't run the camera while Brett's is acting. There's going to be all those restrictions. So you got to have more people. And when you have, one person doing this job and one person doing that job, when the same person could be doing the same job, you're expanding the potential for lazy idiots on your sets. And if you're at work and you can't identify any idiots, guess who the idiot is? Now, I do know that I want it to be sort of a night shot in that last one. That last thing, I really want to be night. I really want the whole thing to be night. But I know that if I shoot in here or I shoot actually I was thinking about shooting in the home theater. That might be good. So that's all blacked out and whatnot, so I can shoot at night. But I'm going to say noon to start. And I'm just going to put dystopian scenes. So I'm just going to put Allison and Edward in here. And most of that day is just them. But I know that, say, 8 p.m., I'm going to continue dystopian scenes and add the Mercs. That day is done. So that way I can look at that and have all the Allison and Edward stuff. I know to give Allison and Edward a call time of noon, and I know to give the Mercs a call time of 8. The house party with Hobo Joey, I'm going to put that like at the end because what I'm going to do, I think what I'll do is I'll make that a wrap party. Gotcha. And we'll shoot that then. That way we can have all the cast and crew here and other people, and it'll be an actual party, whatnot. So I'm going to put that down on this Saturday night. Shoot it in your home. Just do a tiny little movie, in your home where you've got all the control, where you're deciding when you can shoot, what can be shot, and you've got control over the entire environment, and you don't have to go out, you don't have to look somewhere. You know your location backwards and forwards. Oh, our movie After the Day, which eventually turned into Red Days, the whole movie takes place in one house. You can make a feature out of it. You're going to have more control in your own house than anywhere else. And again, I can black it out, so it's no big deal. So I'm going to put house party. I'm just going to put cast, so I know it's like actual cast party. And then the actual characters' names, Hobo Joey, that's you.
That's it.
Rabbit, Kristen, Martin, and party goers. All my Old West days, and I'm looking at the times to shoot. I got a scene at 2 or 2 hour, 2 hour, 2 hour, 2 hour, 2 to 3 hours. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 hours. We can do all the Old West stuff in one day. I'm gonna save that one. I'm gonna try to get to all the midgets on one day. That's like a 4 or 5 hour thing. So that's gonna put us at midnight by the time we finish that. Concert. Confrontation. I think, we got time to do it, but we're fighting the daylight because a lot of this stuff I want to be night. Oh wait, we got this knocked out, right? KD runs. No, I want to, now that I'm looking at it, I'm going to readjust the times we're going to do that because of the time of day. Shoot that out of order. I can go ahead and put Ralph in that first scene too. Just fell out the crowd a little bit. All right, so now I've got a little bit of a kind of a map, kind of a schedule. It's all just just jotted down with ideas, possibilities. This is pretty good. It needs a little fine tuning. So that's hypothetically one weekend, although even though it's a full weekend, and I've got them scheduled out, I can shuffle them around. This could be the second weekend, this could be the third weekend. Gotcha. But I've got Sundays scheduled kind of with that kind of in my mind. I got that down to 1, 2, 3, first weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Second weekend, a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then a third weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 days. All right, so that's my general base. And then I'm going to, so from here, I start looking at this and keeping that in mind, and I'm going to reread the script. I'm going to go through the script again, and I'm going to try to trim it down to make each scene as easy to shoot as possible. As fun as it would be to shoot all of it, I want to slim it down because, I don't want to have a rough cut of 2 hours and cut a half an hour out, and that's time we wasted shooting all that. So I'm going to look and see how we can really slim it down. And then I'm just going to go over this, and then I'm going to send out a schedule and say, okay, is everybody okay with this schedule? Does this work for everybody? And then I start, of course, getting I can't do that this weekend. I can't do it this weekend. I can't do that, blah, 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 blah. But first thing I'll do is I'll send out an email that says, these are the weekends I'm looking at shooting. Anybody have any availability issues on these weekends? If no, or if yes, then I have to just deal with it and jib and flow based on that. The dystopian segment, Allison's the only one that's cast. Find out what's good with her, and then I can cast Edward based on that availability. The tough stuff to do is where you got a lot of different people, like that main weekend, that Friday and Saturday of just where everybody's in there, and that's the major social media conference stuff. That's the stuff where you got to get nailed down, locked in stone. The other stuff can be kind of flexible. But that's basically, so you've got that schedule, you've got that idea, and you've seen how we've done that. We've taken it from just going through the script into writing it down on note cards and then transcribing and just trying to find those spots, looking at what's on each of the cards and transcribing it there based on characters, saying, okay, well, kerosene drifters, these are the kerosene drifter scenes. Let's try to get them all in one day. When you come to somebody like Henry, who's local and is very flexible, I can have more leeway with him. And then you can also look at based on, okay, well, the Old West Town. Let's get all the Old West Town stuff in one day. So you're looking at both, talent and location to try and make it as streamlined of a schedule as possible. You got here at 7? And we spent about, I spent maybe about an hour an hour and a half breaking down these, and it's what now?
8:37.
8:37. So 2 to 3 hours. We broke down the script and have a rough schedule. The main reasons I hate producing is the scheduling, because somebody's not going to be able to work on this day. Oh, that person's not going to be available that day, and I've got to make all those compensations. It's so much easier if everyone's just like, hey, you tell me when to be there, I'll be there. Blammo, they're there. And I don't have to worry about travel. I don't have to worry about this. Because I do have to keep that in mind. Some of these people I'm looking at, well, they got to come in from Houston. Okay, well, let's keep them. Let's not have them come out on a Thursday night for an hour-long shot. And then that's all, Let's have them come in and I can get all their stuff on one day or on 2 days. So I make it as easy for them as possible. And those are the things that you think of and you consider when you're scheduling.
So that's it. The movie is scheduled. With production starting in just a couple of weeks, will the guys be able to make it happen? Or will more roadblocks start popping up? Find out on the next episode of Long Shot.